Are you or anyone you know suffering from Parkinson's disease? A healthy gut and diet may slow down its progression and symptoms. Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative disorder that is caused by protein aggregation in the neurons of the brain. A protein called alpha-synuclein misfolds and creates blockages, leading to decreased signaling and the eventual death of the neuron. Many patients also form Lewy bodies as a result of this accumulation of proteins. The disease is thought to be worsened by inflammation in the brain. The disease is characterized by varying degrees of motor dysfunction, including tremors, stiffness, and instability. It is thought that there may be a connection between the gut microbiome and Parkinson's disease due to the link between the gut and the brain through the vagus nerve. This may prove correct. A study by Sampson et al. In Cell found that mice that overexpress alpha-synuclein, who received a dose of feces from a Parkinson's patient, began to show the same motor deficits as the patient, while mice who received feces from a healthy microbiome did not. Further, a marked difference between the gut microbiomes of healthy and diseased patients has been discovered.
One theory of aging that links gut microbiome composition with Parkinson's disease is the neuroendocrine theory of aging. This theory states that the ability to maintain homeostasis decreases with age, leading to aging-related diseases. One of the ways in which homeostasis is disrupted is deregulation of nutrient sensing. Additionally, homeostasis is disrupted due to hormonal imbalances. This hormonal dysfunction increases levels of the TOR protein, the target of rapamycin protein, which is an important regulator of processes like metabolism and growth. Increased levels of the TOR protein may prevent autophagy and accelerate aging. With age, there is also increased levels of chronic inflammation. Inflammation can activate TOR proteins and accelerate aging and aging-related diseases. So how is this linked to the gut? If the gut microbiome is regulated to restore functions of homeostasis, aging-related diseases like Parkinson's may be prevented. So how can symptoms of homeostasis dysfunction, like inflammation, be regulated through the gut?
One way to potentially help reduce the symptoms of Parkinson's is to eat food that helps to produce more SCFA-producing bacteria. SCFA, or short-chain fatty acid-producing bacteria, are produced during the fermentation of dietary fiber by gut bacteria in the colon.
You can get peanuts, which increases your levels of Ruminococcacea, a principal gut microorganism that creates SCFAs.
You can buy legumes, such as beans, which during fermentation, the gut will produce butyrate, one of the most common SCFAs. You can buy oats, and when eaten cold, contain dietary fiber, particularly beta-glucans, which can contribute to the production of propionate in the gut, another one of the 3 most common SCFAs.
You can buy fermented foods such as kimchi, which will increase levels of acetate, another one of the 3 most common SCFAs.
Many sources that we examined found a link between SCFA-producing bacteria and reduced Parkinson's symptoms. In a study by Hakikia et al., Parkinson's patients were placed on an ovo-lacto vegetarian diet with SCFAs for 10 days, and a subset of these patients received daily fecal enemas. The study found that there was an increase in Ruminococcacea, a generally positive bacteria, and a decrease in Clostridioideaceae, a generally negative bacteria. In turn, there was some inflammation reduction and improved motor function in Parkinson's patients. However, this study did have a small sample size, and some people in the healthy control group were as young as 18, which may be an inaccurate representation of a baseline for Parkinson's patients. Additionally, the study also noted possible side effects such as infections, vomiting, and dehydration. In this longitudinal study by Su et al., researchers worked to understand the progression of changes in the gut microbiome in Parkinson's patients, and also looked at device-assisted therapies. They found there was a decrease in SCFAs and an increase in pro-inflammatory microbiota. Additionally, results were inconclusive on device-assisted therapies due to the small sample size in the study. The study was also limited in diversity, with 80% of the patients being Caucasian. In this study by Ritz et al., scientists examined the diet and the consequential gut microbiota composition in patients with Parkinson's disease. They found that patients with a healthier diet, noted as a high fiber and a low sugar intake, showed a decrease in pro-inflammatory bacteria and an increase in SCFA-producing bacteria. In turn, this increase in SCFA-producing bacteria led to a decrease in inflammation, which is beneficial as Parkinson's patients have higher levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, which activates the immune cells of the brain. However, this study did have a small sample size, with 80% of the patients being of European descent. Additionally, the study was a cross-sectional one, meaning that it may not be best suited for conclusions about Parkinson's progression and intervention.
All in all, we hope you learned a thing or two about the connection between the gut microbiome and your overall health. Before we go, we just wanted to clarify a few things. First off, any of the foods we suggested unfortunately aren't a youth pill, and gerontologists more accomplished than us are still on the hunt for that. These eating habits will not eliminate your chances of developing Parkinson's, but may slow down the advancement of your symptoms should you develop the disease. By eating more fiber and good starch, one can help alleviate the constipation or bloating that is associated with Parkinson's. There is a chance that a high-fiber diet can cause additional GI discomforts for people with pre-existing conditions. However, for the most part, it wouldn't hurt to consume these foods if within your economic means and you don't have any allergies to the foods mentioned. All right, thank you for listening.